Hello and welcome back to Cremos Coffee. Light roast, dark roast, medium roast, city roast, French roast, Italian roast. What does roast mean? The answer is really quite basic and incredibly simple. Roast just means the amount of time you have cooked your coffee. As you probably know, whenever you drink a cup of coffee, you're not drinking raw coffee beans with water filled through them. What you are getting is a number of flavors, textures, acids, and a number of other things which are created in the chemical process known as roasting. Through roasting, the natural sugars of a coffee bean caramelize. The acidity, which is natural in coffee beans, diminishes, making it much more flavorful and palatable. Light roast, medium roast, and dark roast are all roasted at the exact same temperature, only for different amounts of time. There are three basic categories of roast: light roast, medium roast, and dark roast. Yes, timing is really the factor. However, you can tell what stage it's in based off of the crack of the bean. The first crack happens when the bean hits 385 degrees Fahrenheit. This crack is simply the bean expanding, breaking apart, its natural sugars starting to caramelize, its natural acidity burning away, the flavors that make this bean unique giving way to the natural coffee flavor we think of when we think of super dark roasts. When you hear the first crack, you have reached what is called a light roast. When you go down the supermarket and you see light roasted coffee, you know that they got it right to about 385 degrees, heard that first crack, and turned it off and sent it in to start cooling. At this 385 degree mark, all water and moisture had left the coffee bean. The sugars are starting to caramelize. However, the bean is actually increasing dramatically in size due to an excess of carbon dioxide escaping from the bean. Water is becoming water vapor trapped within the bean, and other chemical reactions are causing it to increase in size. A light roast is your best opportunity to really taste differences in coffees. The reason for this is, since it's only lightly roasted, the natural caramel flavors of coffee have not had the opportunity to overtake the natural flavors of the individual bean. So if you're getting an Arabica from Colombia, an Arabica from Argentina, comparing them both against a Robusta from Indonesia, and you want to find out the actual flavor differences within that individual coffee, you're going to want to do a light roast, because the caramel flavor, the nutty flavor that comes out in darker roasted coffee isn't going to be as prevalent. For many people who do coffee tastings either professionally, for blogging, or whatever, they usually go for light roasts just because it's easier to tell the difference between coffees. Lighter roasts also hold on to more caffeine and natural antioxidants found in coffee beans. During the roasting process, more caffeine and antioxidants burn off to be replaced by sugar becoming caramelized. The change is not significant. However, if you need that extra little push of caffeine in the morning, a lighter roast would probably be the best bet. As the coffee continues to roast, past that first crack, which means a light roast, through what we'll talk about later as the second crack, this range is called medium roast. Anything that falls between the light and the dark, first crack, second crack, can be called a medium roast. This is where it starts to get interesting. The coffee flavor, the caramelized sugar, the natural nutty flavor you think of with dark roasted coffee is starting to take over from the natural flavors of your coffee bean. This whole range is called medium roast. However, as you roast the process, there's a very small window where this first crack ends and the second crack begins. So perhaps it's not quite as wide and broad as it seems at first. Many people consider medium roast coffee simply the